Welcome back to the Morning Blend. Our next guest was an all-star basketball player. Then she had a devastating knee injury, followed by a failed suicide attempt. That's when Anita Clinton began a different journey. AC joins us now to chat about how her story can help you. Her book is called Destiny Starter: How to Discover What You Are Called to Do and Do It. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. True story, at the age of 10, you were 5'11".
5'11", wearing a size 11 shoe. True
Oh
story.
man. Wow, you were a tower for sure. I think your experience is similar to a lot of elite athletes where basketball sort of defined your life. I mean, you talk about the fact that you were a natural. I mean, you were so tall. You were privileged, you say, to play girls basketball on high levels. You got a scholarship to U of I. You played on the USA basketball team. So it was every part of your identity, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, my entire identity was wrapped inside of my talent. Essentially what I did and what I did exceptionally well. And when that's taken away from you, it's like, okay, who am I now? Like, what are you going to do? I say all the time that there are four things that, if not everyone, most people want to know. And number one is identity. Who am I? Number two is lineage. Where did I come from? Number three is purpose. Why am I here? And then number four is destiny. Where am I going? And for me, I was completely lost. I had no idea, no clue what was next for my life.
Because basketball always worked for you. I totally can get that and appreciate it because you succeeded at such high levels. So then you have this devastating knee injury, and then you're saying, now what?
Yeah, absolutely. So our second Big Ten game at the University of Iowa, and Iowa was kind of our nemesis. And so we're excited about the game. 2 minutes into the game, our point guard goes to take the ball out and throws the ball to me. Now, everybody else is all the way down the court, and it's just me. I go to turn around to run down the court. The top part of my body turns, the bottom does not. And this particular game was recorded. And so you literally see my knee go
Oh,
on the stage. It
oh.
ripped everything to shred. They had to literally reconstruct my entire knee. And so I had been given a strong medicine cocktail. So 1 week after the surgery, I'm sitting on my couch or laying on the couch and I'm like, okay, who are you? What are you going to do? And so I decided to take every single medication that they had given me. And I laid down, I said a small apologetic prayer to God. And my intent was to go to sleep and not to wake up. But 4 hours later, I wake up, every single pill that I took came back up, and I get to the hospital. And check this out. Here's what the doctors say. They say, looking at the potency of the medications or the pills that you took, it's a miracle that you're still alive. And in that moment is when I said, okay, what's my purpose? Why was I spared? Why am I still here? And I started on this long journey to figure out exactly what that was.
I think it's such an interesting question because a lot of people ask themselves that in really trying times, which you obviously went through. Is it true that the answer, so you have this epiphany, but was the answer immediate? Once you knew that it was a miracle you were still alive, did it take some time for you to see what your purpose was and to start on a new journey and path?
It absolutely did. It took a lot of, for me, it was a lot of praying. It was a lot of just figuring out, okay, Anita, what are you good at? What are your talents? What are your skill sets? What knowledge do you have? What do you have in your hand that you can use to help make our world a better place? I believe that we all have been gifted or talented to do something. There's a quote that I love from Albert Einstein, and it says, everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life thinking it's stupid. Now, think about that for a second. A fish in its water, it's in element, right? In its element. It can do some amazing things in water, but you take that same fish out of the water and lean it against a tree, it has no clue what to do there. And so our lives are the same. We are gifted and talented to do something. And when we can find our element, when we can find our water, we can do some amazing things. But the struggle is, how do you find your water?
Yeah, how do you find your element? That's a great question because you talk about ways that people can find their purpose, how they can launch their dream career, for example. We're looking at some video of you speaking, and I know that I can tell just from talking to you how motivating you are. So, what do you suggest to people to clarify their vision and to create their plan of action? Because it's about doing it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so you first want to start with discovery, right? So find it. Let's figure out what it is that one, you are passionate about, two, you are gifted and talented to do whatever that thing is, and three, it's for the benefit of other people. I call it your zone of greatness. And when you figure out that sweet spot, you're in your zone and great things are bound to happen. So let me give you an example. So let's just say that your passion is singing, right? So then the next part of that would be, are you gifted? Are you talented to sing? If we ask you to sing a cappella and go on social media, would the responses be favorable, right? If those two are in alignment, and then the reason for why you're singing, are you looking to encourage people, to inspire people, to pick them up when they're down? When you get those three things in place, you are in your zone. And now you can go from there to begin to create a strategic plan of action. I can sing. I love singing. Now, what do I need to do to make this a reality in my life? And that's where the planning comes in place.
We ran out of time, but I have to mention your last point, and that is to be with like-minded people. I think this is so key. People who support you, but also people who hold you accountable to growing and to finding your adventure and your true path and element, as you say.
Yeah. Yeah, your circle is the most important thing inside of anything that you're doing. If you hang around with a bunch of people that aren't doing anything, most likely you're not going to do much either. There's a saying that says you are the representative of the five people that you hang around. And so you want to make sure that you're getting around people that are going somewhere, that are doing something, that are excited, that are motivated. So when you're down, they can encourage you and they can pick you up and help you inside of whatever it is that you are called to do.
You know what? Good for you. It was fantastic talking to you. Thank you for your work, for making it through a really tough time and for inspiring people. It's beautiful.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. You can join us anytime. And you can find AC's book on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or her website is destinystarterbook.com.